Support WrestleTalk!
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk news. I am Chopper Piquino. I'm joined by
Luke Owen, D.A.D.
And Luke, today in this this new format we're trying. Thank you for your feedback on yesterday's video, by the way. Leave us your thoughts on this video as well. It's more kind of like a new style we're trying. This is not replacing the other news videos we've got, just extra content. More news.
We're giving you more stuff.
More stuff. Someone who's got a lot of stuff currently is Roman Reigns. What a segue.
That's actually a terrible segue because, if anything, he has less stuff to do.
He's got so many belts. Like, he's got stuff.
The Bloodline have so many belts. It's just a shame that only 3 of them are ever on TV.
Exactly, yes. Which is part of the issue here, because there's a report from WrestleVotes that is saying that, according to a source, the creative decision to unify the titles was with the understanding it would allow Roman Reigns to appear on both shows more regularly. Maybe that wasn't the best decision.
I think it's what us fans expected as well.
Absolutely.
Like, when they announced the unification match, like way back in January, like I think Meltzer was reporting the plan is they're going to do title for title at WrestleMania. That means, yeah, cool, Roman wins both belts, Brock goes away for a little bit, and then we have Roman Reigns on both Raw and SmackDown.
Exactly.
We actually have had him on either show. We've actually
literally neither.
Barely on any show. This Friday is the first time he's defending the belts since WrestleMania, which was a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
It has actually had a detrimental effect to the belts. You and I were kind of talking about this on the podcast a little bit yesterday about how, like, the idea of keeping Roman Reigns off TV and off pay-per-views is to make those title defenses feel special. But I feel like they've actually had the opposite effect.
Exactly, yeah. I think it's because it's both world titles as well, that you can't even have, like, another high-feature program on Raw or SmackDown if he was missing from one program, like it kind of was with Lesnar. I still wasn't a huge fan of Lesnar taking the world title and not being there, but I will admit that he still felt special when he turned up. But with Roman Reigns kind of taking both world titles and then not being there, it's like, what's everyone else doing in the meantime? And it's kind of just making everything feel a bit more stale, because we're still in the same place of WWE doesn't really care about people that aren't Roman Reigns. Everything just feels kind of pointless right now while Roman's not there.
Can I play devil's avocado?
It's a really fun game.
Yeah, well, I
Or
wonder...
a band.
To play devil's avocado, I wonder if it's a case of the plan was for Reigns to be on both Raw and SmackDown when they unify the titles. As they said here, the creative decision to unify the titles was the understanding it would allow Roman to be on both shows.
Yeah.
Put it to you, Pete. That was the plan.
Yes.
And then Roman signed his new deal. And unfortunately, Roman signing that new deal, which has happened post-WrestleMania, means that he's not going to be on many of the shows anymore. Like, he's only going to be on SmackDown every once in a while. I think he's on one Raw show.
It's actually something I was going to come on to in a second. Was Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio said that the only times Reigns is going to be on Raw is the Raw from Madison Square Garden. That's the one that's on July 25th, which is the go-home show for SummerSlam. That's his only Raw booking. The only time the champion will be on Raw pretty much the whole summer.
Which I think almost makes sense. It makes sense that that's the date that they picked, the SummerSlam go-home show, because we figure it's going to be Randy Orton versus Roman for the belts at SummerSlam, so
maybe.
Perfect place to put him. Although it does mean that, that's no Roman at all on Raw. And, like, Raw really feels like it is lacking in star power at the moment, particularly with Cody now out.
That was another point I'm going to come on to in a second, Luke. It's like you've read the notes beforehand.
Which I actually haven't. Just to play the devil's avocado, I just think that, that was the creative plan, but those plans have now changed. But I think that you then have to adapt with those. You have to adapt to Roman's contract changing and, like, move some things around, strip him of one of the titles, split the titles off, introduce a new title, or, make some of the other titles feel more important.
Elevate some wrestlers? I don't know. Like, make your mid-card titles feel more important, like your Intercontinental and US title are just kind of there, having a pose down in the main event of Raw.
To play devil's avocado once again.
God, Luke. All right, yeah.
Theory's going into a feud with John Cena.
Potentially.
If that is over the US title, that will make the US title feel more important. We've just put the IC belt onto Walter. Like, maybe
that's good.
Maybe that's a way to kind of, like, make that belt feel more important, because it's now not on jobbers like Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura. So, like, we can put on an actual lad now with some muscles that is a tall guy that they want to push. Yeah. So maybe we are heading into a period where the US belt on Theory, the guy that they think is the next John Cena, and Walter, who they're massively high on, could be the start of that.
Yeah, but, like, do that earlier, because it's been like a couple months where they've held those belts. Not Walter, but, you know, they had Ricochet there, and they had...
But he's so small.
But he's so good, Luke!
But Pete, he's so small. You can't put that man on TV.
Theory.
That should be his name, though. The Theory.
Theory has had the US title for a couple of months, though, and they've done dick all with it.
He feuded with Mustafa Ali. He's got into a feud with Bubbles now.
Yeah.
Like, I think granted that's really... Also, I just feel like if he is called The Theory, his catchphrase would be, "What's the theory?"
That's just a theory. An Austin theory.
Just the theory.
Another part of this that we briefly mentioned earlier is that Cody Rhodes is seemingly, in Roman's absence, the new kind of like face of WWE. If you go on to some of their like social media banners and stuff like that, it's all pictures of Cody. He's like the guy that's plastered on all the posters and everything now.
Front and center of the hell.
Front and center of everything is Cody, but now he's not there because he's injured.
Yeah, and we're probably not going to see him until the Rumble.
Right? So now they've got no one. So they had this idea of elevating another person to be one of those top stars when they didn't have Roman, which is the right thing to do. But now they also don't have that guy either. So you really need to build up other people.
No, Pete, you see, you're missing the point here, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way to build a wrestling company is to put all of your eggs into one basket. And then if that basket then decides to go away for a little bit, you just put them into a different basket. If that basket breaks, you then just find another basket to put all those eggs in. Maybe we're going to be relying on Randy Orton when he comes back from his little sabbatical that he is currently on, that he gets to do every year. Like we said on the Raw podcast yesterday, he's kind of a part-timer. Some people took a little bit of umbrage with that. Being like, he's not a part-timer, he's on the show all the time. He's been on TV for like 6 weeks at this point because he has got a lighter schedule than a lot of the other talents on the roster. I'd like to think it'd be someone like Riddle, but I think that they see him as the comedy goofball sidekick to Randy Orton, an actual star. And like once Randy is back, Riddle's main event push I think is going to be, I mean, it's going to be done with because he's not winning the title this Friday and he can't challenge for the belts after that.
Absolutely, yeah. This is going to be a one and done with Riddle for the belts, and he's then just going to be another guy again, much like everyone else that Roman's beaten.
But maybe we'll get something big with Drew because Drew's going to be going for the belt at Clash of Clans in September.
Not the name. It's not the name of the show.
Are you sure it's not? Are they not fighting over diamonds and the crypto coin battle royal? It's actually not this stuff. The Cody Rhodes thing has come at a really awful time.
It really has.
For WWE, where they are really in desperate need of that top guy. And I think that, you know, that's why they had the panic move of turning Edge babyface. It's not confirmed. Like Sean Ross Sapp has been saying over on Fightful that he's been trying to get confirmation that that is the reason that they turned Edge babyface. He is listed internally as a babyface now. Yeah. But he can't get that confirmed. My gut instinct, though, is telling me that was a rash decision made on their part because they were like, well, we need another top guy. And
they need another basket.
Yeah, exactly, we need another basket. And
what
better basket than one that's part-time? It's not going to be AJ Styles. He's so small, Pete.
But
it's not going to be Finn Balor, Pete. He's so small, Pete.
So
we need it to be Edge.
I guess that's what they're doing. I have no idea. But regardless, though, I think it is really interesting that this whole thing has come from them wanting to put more eggs in the Roman basket. I thought they'd already used all their eggs in the Roman basket, and now they seemingly have more. They're like, no, we need more Roman on both shows, please. And now Roman's just gone, no, I'm fine, thanks.
What's Roman going to do at Survivor Series?
Like Pizza Hut, probably? I don't know.
He's in the Pizza Hut Battle Royal. Just goes in there and is like, well, I haven't wrecked all of you jobbers yet, so I'm going to toss all of you guys out.
He's going to get the golden egg. That's the one, that's the missing egg to put in the final Roman Reigns basket. Whatever happens, it's very stupid.
It kind of sucks, I suppose, in a way, because I wonder, I was about to say, I wonder if they had big plans for like Roman being on both shows. I kind of feel like that is unlikely. That they kind of thought ahead to this, because I feel even the decision to unify the belts was a fairly rushed decision to be like, you know, we just want to have the WrestleMania match with a big tagline. Yeah. Oh no, Roman's now signed a deal where he's not going to be doing smaller house shows. He's not going to be on every single SmackDown. He's certainly not going to be on every Raw or most of the pay-per-views. Yeah. But now what do we do? We'll figure that out when we get to it. Roman Reigns as Universal Champion is the exact same predicament they're in with Ezekiel and Elias. They don't know if he is actually Elias or actually Elias's younger brother, so they're just making it up as they go along.
And it's exactly the same thing with Roman Reigns, which is part of the reason why Roman Reigns in this tribal chief Chief character as it is right now just isn't working, which, by the way, is a video that I'm going to be doing on the WrestleTalk channel. I'm going to make a video about why Roman Reigns isn't working. I came up with the idea yesterday, and then I wrote 1,000 words yesterday while I was waiting in the evening, because I was like, I've got a lot to say about this subject. I've been watching SmackDown for a long time. I have thoughts.
It's essentially just a 1,000-word dump, like just to be like not like it's a rubbish script or anything. But you literally just like, I just need to pour this out, and then you go through it now, and you're like, oh, I can't say any of this.
I think it's one, very eloquent, and two, it's just the history of Roman Reigns' relationship with the fans and why him coming back as a tribal chief was so important and why it was so awesome.
Because it was awesome.
Because it was incredible to start with, and how it's kind of like fallen off at this point. But it'll be a fun video. Go check that out when that comes out. And also, thank you for watching this video. Check out some more WrestleTalk news episodes. Check out the other one that went up today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Loads more videos coming soon. Let us know what you think of this new format as well in the comments. Press the other video, subscribe, do the stuff. We'll see you later. I've been Chopper Pete Cornell. Been joined by Luke Owen, DAD. That was news. Goodbye. Jam that jam, I guess.
Jam that jam.